Will you join your hearts with mine in prayer? Let us pray. Gracious God, as we gather this day, we give you thanks for this university, for the faculty, staff, and students, and the alumni over the decades, for the vision that you gave so long ago for this university to do its mission in this area. We give you thanks for all who have nurtured that vision and transformed it into what it is today, and especially for the students present, to come, and those who have been before, who are transforming their communities. We pray in the name of Christ. Amen.
Good morning and welcome, trustees, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends to our annual Founders Day celebration. We welcome those joining us today in our beautiful Joan and Macon Brock Theater of the Susan S. Goode Fine and Performing Arts Center, and those watching our live stream on the Virginia Wesleyan University Digital Broadcasting Network. Thank you to Reverend Beth Gibbons for providing the opening prayer, and to our wonderful Vox Vera for their always beautiful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Founders Day is an occasion to honor our past, celebrate institutional excellence, and look ahead to our ever-bright future. Celebrating Founders Day gives us that chance to honor what's great about Virginia Wesleyan. Remembering the good times and all the special moments shared as a Marlin community has carried Virginia Wesleyan from its inception 61 years ago to the exciting semester ahead. The concept for Virginia Wesleyan began in 1959 when Methodist minister Joseph Johnston proposed a 4-year private college, the first of its kind in Southampton Roads. Within 2 years of planning, the school had a name, a charter, and an expanding group of supporters from the United Methodist Church and the regional business community. Chartered in 1961, Virginia Wesleyan College first opened in an office building on Granby Street in Norfolk before moving to its current campus in Virginia Beach in 1966. The college held its first commencement in May 1970, graduating 41 pioneering students. Since then, the university has grown to 1,600 traditional students, an additional 1,200 students in VWU Global Campus Talent Development Programs, and more than 300 at our collaborative campus in Tokyo. Over the past 6 decades, Virginia Wesleyan has evolved from a college into a university and from a local resource into a globally connected education center. While the capacity of our campus and the scope of our academic offerings has grown exponentially, we've never lost sight of the guiding purpose that our founders intended: to serve those who seek knowledge, enlightenment, opportunity, and the means to make the world a better place. As such, Virginia Wesleyan has experienced its greatest period of growth in our history, achieving record enrollment and fundraising, creating new programs and partnerships, growing our endowment significantly over the past half-decade. In short, we're seeing our potential, not only to be good, but to be great, as coastal Virginia's premier university of the liberal arts and sciences. I'd like to take a moment to recognize special guests in the audience today. We're delighted to have members of the Virginia Wesleyan University Board of Trustees with us, including our new board chair, John Pruden. Nancy DeFord, our vice chair. Gary Bonnewell, class of 1979 and former chair. Rob McFarland, and of course, Deborah Paxson and Mike White, who are honored guests today. We thank you and all our board members for your steadfast commitment and support of Virginia Wesleyan. We're also proud to welcome Amelia Ross Hammond, a local community advocate and unopposed candidate for the 4th District seat of the Virginia Beach City Council, which includes the VWU campus. We thank her for joining us. Where's Amelia? Oh, there's Amelia back there. And we'd like to thank our good friend, Taylor Adams, Deputy City Manager for the City of Virginia Beach, for being here also. Virginia Wesleyan University partners with the City of Virginia Beach in many ways, including a fantastic collaboration with the Department of Economic Development and the Hive, working to reduce unemployment and increase career advancement opportunities by offering in-person and online professional development courses at no cost to coastal Virginia residents. I might add that a new initiative with Virginia Beach's police department will enable VWU to provide local police officers with specialized training in psychology and conflict resolution. And our environmental sciences curriculum is greatly enhanced by our Virginia Beach partnerships with the Brock Environmental Center, Chesapeake Bay Foundation, Virginia Aquarium and Marine Sciences Center, and of course the Port of Virginia and the Botanical Garden. Again, thank you to Taylor Adams for being a trusted and innovative partner of the university, and we appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. Virginia Wesleyan University is honored to be the academic destination of choice for so many learners with bright minds, kind hearts, and bold visions. We're equally honored to be welcomed as partners by many local and regional organizations who are helping to shape the future of our community. Through the power of collaboration, we're excited to foster new and ongoing relationships that will continue to higher quality of life for all who live in our region. As you can tell, there's much cause for celebration as we honor our founders today. Among today's traditions are the annual Alumni Awards. Our accomplished alumni are the very best examples of our mission and academic programs. The 3 talented individuals we honor with Alumni Awards today, Mike White, Brandon Adair, and Jesse Daw, are a tribute to all that is valuable and notable about Virginia Wesleyan's liberal arts education. It's a pleasure to invite these individuals and their families back to our campus. I hope our award recipients know how very proud we are of them and the way they represent their alma mater. We thank you for being here and for being such exemplary role models for the university. So welcome, and thank you all for joining us. It's now my honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, the Honorable Deborah M. Paxson. A Hampton Roads native, Deborah graduated from Virginia Wesleyan University summa cum laude with a bachelor's degree in English in 1975. After graduation, she continued her education and obtained a master's degree in English from the University of Vermont on a fellowship in 1981, and later obtained a Juris Doctor degree from the University of Virginia School of Law in 1987. Deborah served as a judge on the Virginia Beach Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Court from 2000 to 2018, including a term as Chief Judge. During that time, she was a co-chair for the Virginia Supreme Court's Commission on Mental Health Law Reform Subcommittee, Children and Adolescents. She also participated in the Virginia Beach Circuit Court's third grade mentorship program at SeaTac Elementary School. Prior to becoming a district judge, Deborah worked as a supervising prosecutor for the Virginia Beach Commonwealth Attorney's Office, also serving as adjunct faculty at the National District Attorney's College in Columbia, South Carolina. She was a founder and instructor for Top Gun Drug Prosecution Program in Williamsburg, Virginia. She retired in 2018, but still works as a substitute judge in Hampton Roads. Deborah's awards and recognitions include Who's Who in American Colleges and Universities, Virginia Wesleyan Achievement in English Award, Virginia Wesleyan Outstanding Alumni Academic Achievement Award, Virginia Foundation for Independent Colleges Outstanding Lifetime Achievement Award, and Regent University Law School Judicial Internship Program Judge of the Year in 2015. In her spare time, Deborah is an engaged and dedicated member of the greater coastal Virginia area. She's on the board of the Norfolk County Historical Society and is past regent of the Princess Anne County chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. Deborah's remained active at her alma mater and has been a member of the Virginia Wesleyan Board of Trustees for many years. In the early years of this university, pioneering students like Deborah paved the way for our bright future and set the standard of excellence for students in academics and community engagement. In the years that have passed since her graduation, she has truly embodied our motto of once a Marlin, always a Marlin. Trustees, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Deborah Paxson, class of 1975, as our Founders Day speaker.
Well, good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank my fellow trustees, Dr. Miller, faculty, staff, students, and friends for the opportunity to address you today. It is an honor to be a part of the Virginia Wesleyan family, and a particular honor to be recognized for the Wesley Award. I've been asked to speak on what Virginia Wesleyan means to me. My freshman class in 1971 was one of the earliest. The school was chartered in 1961. The first freshman class in 1966 saw 41 students graduating in 1970. Many of you remember or have seen pictures of the Virginia Wesleyan campus 50 years ago. Nice farmland. Compelling campus? Not so much. There was no amazing Greer Environmental Sciences Center, no beautiful Susan Goode Center for the Fine and Performing Arts, no Godwin Administration Building, no DeFord Manor. The residential and dining facilities were pretty basic, and the athletic facilities were pretty much non-existent. In fact, our Marlin basketball team would host games in the Norfolk Academy gym where we faithfully cheered them on. Plus, there were no semester abroad programs, nor global campus opportunities, nor were there any business internship opportunities, nor honors programs. So you ask, Why would someone who was a pretty good high school student, did pretty well on her SATs, and presumably would have had her choice of Virginia colleges, choose Virginia Wesleyan? Like some students, I didn't really know where I wanted to go to college, and we weren't the sophisticated college hunters that students and parents are today. Our family was very involved in the Methodist Church. My mother, 2 great uncles, an uncle, and 2 cousins had gone to Emory and Henry College. And so my mother basically gave me a choice, her school, Emory and Henry, or this new college in town, Virginia Wesleyan. I didn't want to leave my friends or the beach, so I chose Virginia Wesleyan. And luckily for me, so did my best high school friend, Sue Lauk Fitzgerald, and luckily for her, future husband alumnus Jim Fitzgerald decided he did want to leave New Jersey for Virginia Beach. Not a tough choice. In our sophomore year, another good high school friend, Gil McMillan, transferred to Virginia Wesleyan and stayed. We 4 get together from time to time and all say the same thing. From the moment we stepped onto campus, we felt and still feel what Virginia Wesleyan stands for in my mind: connection, family, and home. It is why I've kept coming back over the last 51 years to serve, first on the Alumni Council, then as a donor, and then as a trustee for the last 10 years. But back to 1971. My mother, a teacher herself, told me that I would appreciate learning in the small class setting with real teacher-student interaction and with a heavy emphasis on the liberal arts. I wanted a small campus where I thought it would be easier to make friends and navigate the extracurricular life, and have the beach too. I found both and so much more. We students thought of ourselves as pioneers on the frontier of college life. You knew all your fellow students, even those outside your major. Many of us who started together graduated together, and I've kept in touch with most of my closest friends throughout the years, even though we're spread across the U.S. and in some cases the world. If we were a small student body, the founding faculty was even smaller than what you see today. Many of the faculty were relatively new to teaching and not much older than us. They were friendly, helpful, and easy to relate to. Our teachers welcomed us into their homes and their families. The parties at Chicks Beach were very memorable. But enough said about that. What happened at Chicks Beach stays at Chicks Beach. Their enthusiasm for teaching created a strong bond among themselves and with us. But as new and young as they were, the quality of teaching in the classroom was first rate. Since that time, I've attended several larger and some more well-known universities, and I can tell you that the quality of instruction at Virginia Wesleyan was and is as good as any of them. But those founding faculty set the tone and the standard. They wanted us to have a great educational experience both in and beyond the classroom, and so went out of their way to arrange special winter break programs, travel abroad programs, and local community interaction. We didn't have a formal study abroad program, but our faculty found ways to give us that travel learning experience. The 2-week literary theater tour of London my junior year, led by English professor Bruce Guernsey and theater professor Dr. Rick Height, was memorable. In my sophomore year, Dr. Wayne Artis, our sociology professor, organized a summer-long trip to Jordan, Greece, and Israel for 20 students who lived for the majority of that summer on a kibbutz in Israel. What an amazing learning experience that was. Dr. Artis required us to keep a daily journal, and today I pick it up and remember the fun and all that I learned from some very different cultures. Dr. Patricia Sullivan, our foreign languages professor, was a remarkable woman and a role model for me. She organized study abroad programs for many of her language students, including myself. She put together the travel and a 2-month study program for me at the University of Grenoble, France, for the summer after my graduation. When we first met, I, as a French language student in my sophomore year, she was a struggling single mother trying to balance raising a young daughter, finishing her doctoral dissertation, and providing classes in 3 different foreign languages. She was at the time one of the few female professors at Virginia Wesleyan. She showed us that as women, we could set our goals in the professions and achieve those goals. She inspired me to go to law school. Pat was a very funny, highly intelligent, outgoing person who stood up for herself and her students. I was proud to call her my friend and mentor. Years after graduating, her students continued to meet with her, and her interest in us never waned. She passed in 2021, and Virginia Wesleyan honored her this past May. Another friend and mentor, Dr. Daniel Graff, taught us how to think globally. He taught extraordinary seminars on European and Russian history, which challenged us to examine our thinking and how we viewed our world outside America. He led several student trips to Russia in the 70s and 80s when travel there was not easy. I think about what he taught us today as I watch events unfold, particularly in the Ukraine, around the world. Dr. Vern Kiefer taught us the importance of our environment and the necessity of conserving our natural resources. Dr. Rick Haidt and Bentley Anderson established a remarkable theater program which continues today. Dr. Stephen Mansfield taught us the importance of our local history and the necessity of preserving the past. He and his wonderful wife, Dawn, have continued to be my good friends for many years. Dr. Richard Lapchick and Dr. Del Carlson taught us all that politics are local and our active involvement in our community is a citizen's duty. Dr. Andy Orr, Dr. Joseph Harkey, Dr. Gordon Magnuson, and Bruce Guernsey were at the time the heart and soul of the English department. They made poetry and novels come alive. They encouraged me to pursue my graduate degree in English and inspired in me a lifelong love of literature and writing. At the same time, many first and founding staff and administrators took time to get to know us as people. Bill Joseph, who led the business office where I worked as part of my student aid scholarship, was my boss and work mentor for 4 years and a good friend for many more. Jim Bergdahl was the first registrar and development director. He tirelessly promoted and raised money for this fledgling college. He stayed in touch throughout the years and continued to pull me back into the affairs of the college, as did fellow student, longtime friend, and Jim's assistant, Jesse Fanshaw. A thank you can never adequately express my gratitude and admiration for Dr. Lambeth Clark, Virginia Wesleyan president from 1966 to 1992. His presence in the life of the school was tremendous. His leadership, friendship, and example loom large in my life. I never saw him without a smile on his face, a kind word for everyone, and time to listen and advise. Many years after I graduated from Virginia Wesleyan, he encouraged me to go to law school, wrote recommendation letters, and I'm convinced his support was the reason that I was accepted into the University of Virginia Law School. And finally, there would be no Virginia Wesleyan without the vision of those founding trustees. As a trustee now, I appreciate that so much more than I did then. I often think about the courage, commitment, and wisdom it took for those people to invest so much of their time and money, especially their money, and their belief in this, at the time, new educational venture. The Birdsongs, the Prudens, the Boyds, the Hoffheimers, the Mileses, the legendary Judge Jerry Bray, and so many more. And those who have carried the torch, the Battens, the Brocks, the Schumedines, the DeFords, and the Goods, the Slaughters, and my dear friends Henry and Eleanor Watts, to name but a few. Personally, I want to thank Jane Batten, who taught my trustee orientation class, and who told me that philanthropy in the field of education would be my most fulfilling volunteer work. She was so right. And special thanks to Gary Bonnewell, the first Virginia Wesleyan alumnus to become board president, for his enthusiasm, humor, and encouragement. The board had no alumni members for some years, and then afterwards a few here and there. Now we have 3 board officers, 12 alumni board members, and those members are from a range of graduating classes, which says a great deal about the connection we all feel to Virginia Wesleyan. These are just a few of what I like to call the founding trustees, faculty, and staff of Virginia Wesleyan. There were so many others. Please think of them this day. Say their names, for that is how we keep their memories alive, and give them a silent thanks. I'll end by looking back and looking forward. In writing this speech, I pulled out my 1972 Virginia Wesleyan yearbook. The yearbook theme was, "There are no endings." As I watch Virginia Wesleyan grow and thrive, I know this school provides an excellent education and many opportunities to experience the world. but I also sense the same feelings of connection and home present now as then. It is gratifying, humbling, and reassuring. I forged lifelong friendships here. We'll never forget cheering on our fledgling athletic teams, playing pool in the snack bar, traveling and experiencing other cultures together, and learning together. There will be no ending to my dedication to this school. In seeking a mere education, I seem to have stumbled into a lifetime commitment, and one that I am proud to acknowledge and to serve. John Wesley famously said, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can." This is what Virginia Wesleyan taught me and what it means to me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to that today and for this award. Go Marlins!
Deborah, on behalf of Virginia Wesleyan University, thank you for your excellent address and to show our gratitude for your outstanding service, contributions, and faithfulness to your beloved alma mater. I'm honored to present you with the Wesley Award. Please step forward. So, we the beach and what happens at Chick's Beach stays in Chick's Beach started with your class. Believe me, that tradition is true today. Recognizing alumni is among the most important traditions at Virginia Wesleyan. Our alumni are vital to our continued growth as a national liberal arts institution. We look to our alumni to continue to represent the university well and to support and promote our efforts for the future. It's now my pleasure to welcome Elisa Kreider, a Virginia Wesleyan 2010 graduate, the 2018 recipient of the Graduate of the Last Decade Award, and the chair of our Alumni Council, to the podium to begin our 2022 Alumni Awards presentations. Elisa?
Good morning, everyone. I bring you greetings from Alumni Relations at Virginia Wesleyan University. I am honored to represent the over 10,000 alumni of the institution on Founders Day. It is my pleasure to announce the honorees for the Beacon Award and the Alumni Service Award, and to invite you to join me in congratulating them on this special occasion. Each year, the university bestows alumni awards to graduates in recognition of outstanding professional and/or personal accomplishments in any field of endeavor. Receiving the Beacon Award today is Jessie K. Daw, having demonstrated strong personal values and the ideals of the university. Jessie Daw, VW class of 2008, is a member of the Harvard Law School class of 2022. Throughout law school, she commuted weekly between Chesapeake, Virginia, and Cambridge, Massachusetts, fitting a week's worth of coursework into 2 days so she could be with her devoted partner, Stefan, and 4 children, Adeline, Michael, and twins, Isla and Esme. While completing her Juris Doctor, Jessie remained connected to the Hampton Roads legal community throughout internships with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia and with the Office of the Norfolk Commonwealth's Attorney. She was also a summer associate at Wilcox & Savage and McGuire Woods in Norfolk. On campus in Cambridge, Jessie served in leadership roles with Harvard Law's Child and Youth Advocates, the Student Government Association's Academic Affairs Committee, and the Women's Law Association's Governance Committee. Prior to law school, Jessie was an 8th grade English teacher in Chesapeake and Newport News Title I schools for 6 years, developing district curriculum and assessments, working closely with English language learners, and serving as coach of the congressional debate team. She also served as a tutor for children in a variety of subject areas. In 2008, Jessie graduated from VWU magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. She attended VWU as a Wesleyan scholar with a full tuition scholarship and was actively involved in campus life as a resident assistant, freshman peer advisor, and member of Tri Sigma, also serving in leadership roles on the Wesleyan Activities Council, Student Government Association, and Equality Alliance. She was a member of VWU's Ethics Bowl debate team and National Model UN, and attended multiple leadership workshops, including Americans for Informed Democracy Young Global Leaders Summit on the International Criminal Court at Yale Law. After sitting for the Virginia bar exam, Jessie will join McGuire Woods in Norfolk as an associate in the firm's Government Investigations and White Collar Litigation Group. She will then clerk for the Honorable S. Bernard Goodwin, Chief Justice of the Virginia Supreme Court. Jessie enjoys spending time with her family, including her mother and father, who reside in Virginia Beach. Her personal hobbies include visiting lighthouses and practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We are pleased to honor Jessie Daw with this year's Beacon Award.
Thank you so much. I am moved and immensely grateful to be receiving VWU's 2022 Beacon Award today. The name of this award resonates deeply with me, as the lighthouse holds a special place in my heart. My love for lighthouses began with my father's Coast Guard service. His final duty station allowed our family the special opportunity of having a lighthouse and the Puget Sound in our backyard. There I awoke many mornings to the deep, steady song of the Alki Point foghorn. I climbed the lighthouse steps, sat on the rocks at its base, listening to the inward and outward breaths of the tide, experienced the joy of uncovering a seashell on the sandy shore, and witnessed the awe of the humpback's migration. I chased butterflies by the old oil and coal sheds, and along the way, I came to associate the lighthouse with comfort, safety, and warmth. For that is not only what it has for so many years provided to passing ships, but also what it provided me. And I also came to strongly associate the lighthouse with courage, sacrifice, duty, and commitment, of history's lighthouse keepers, of the men and women who serve our country, of the military spouse. At the center of the lighthouse beacon is a small lamp bulb, which serves as its light source. But that light exists within is not the essence of the beacon. Rather, it is the Fresnel lens which captures and bends the light, reflecting it outward such that it pierces the vast darkness for miles, which represents the beacon's true power. Called the invention that saved 1 million ships, the Fresnel lens comes in many sizes or orders, its most powerful being used on major seacoasts and throwing its beam a distance of 26 miles out to sea. Thus, the Fresnel lens represents strength in a relatively small yet highly complex mechanism. Hundreds of pieces of specially cut prisms are arranged to concentrate light from the central lamp into rhythmically revolving, flashing beams, with no two flash patterns being the same. We all have a light within us, something that makes us special and that propels us forward. But as with the beacon, there is a substantial difference between having a light within and turning it outward for the benefit of others. The beacon reminds us that we must not keep our light to ourselves. Rather, we have a responsibility and a duty to reflect our light outwards in whatever way, big or small, that we can, in order that we may be a beacon to those who cross our path. Being a beacon is not always easy. Often part of what makes us special is that we have overcome adversity and the tremendous personal growth that takes place as we struggle and ultimately prevail over life's hurdles. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to speak up so that someone else might benefit from the wisdom or even just the comfort of your light. I want to dedicate this award to all the beacons in my life who have shined light into the darkness and helped me to find my way, to gain safe passage through both calm and turbulent seas, most especially my parents, Mike and Sandra Daw, my partner in life, Stefan, his mother, Jan, and my children, Adeline, Michael, Isla, and Esme. And in order that I might practice what I preach, I also want to dedicate this award to those who have suffered narcissistic abuse. You may feel that your inner light has been dimmed, perhaps even extinguished. You may feel engulfed in darkness and not seen by anyone, but know that you are not alone. Know that you are enough. Know that you can not only persevere, but can thrive. And critically, know that you can be a beacon for others who very much need your light. Thank you.
This year's Alumni Service Award recipient is Brandon Adair, in recognition of his outstanding continuing service to the community and the university. Brandon L. Adair, class of 2012, just completed his 4th season as an NBA official. He officiated 80 regular season games in his first few seasons with the NBA. He also has 4 years of officiating experience in both the NBA G League and the collegiate ranks, with stints in the Big South, Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association, and Old Dominion athletic conferences. In addition, he was also a high school referee in Virginia for 7 years. Prior to his officiating career, Brandon was a standout basketball player at Virginia Wesleyan and went to play professionally for 2 seasons in Germany. In 2013, Brandon was inducted into the Virginia Wesleyan University Athletic Hall of Fame, both as an individual athlete and as a member of the 2006 Men's Basketball National Championship team. Throughout his college basketball career, he received numerous individual awards and accolades. Most notably, in 2006, he was selected as the National Association of Basketball Coaches Division III Player of the Year and is number 1 in VWU history in scoring with 2,100 points, field goals made with 871, and rebounds with 871. Brandon currently serves on the VWU Alumni Council, whoop whoop, and volunteers his time with the nonprofit organizations TAPS and It's From the Soul, as well as the local foundations Something Local, Walk MS, and the Norfolk SPCA. We are pleased to honor Brandon Adair, class of 2012, with this year's Alumni Service Award. Here to accept the award on his behalf are his mom, Gail Gillespie, and VWU head men's basketball coach, Dave Macedo. Brandon is coming to us virtually today from Springfield, Massachusetts, where he will be attending the 2022 Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony.
Hey, apologize for not being able to make it, but having my mom there to accept an award that defines more about how I was raised than anything else is gratifying. So I'll start by saying thanks to Virginia Wesleyan and Dr. Miller for the Alumni Service Award. Service, an act of helpful activity. I do not like to speak about myself and things that I'm involved in, so to keep things short, I'll just speak on one of the programs that started me on the right track of serving. When I first got to Wesleyan almost 20 years ago, opportunities were there to serve in the community. The Big Brother program at Bayside Elementary was the first that I could relate to and be interested with. Coach Francis and his wife Megan introduced me to a fifth grader. Seeing the effects and hearing about the kids' behavior after we met just by me spending an hour every Tuesday with him was life-changing. It was something so small, but it meant the world to him. Looking back at it, it meant the world to me as well. Not only the Francis family, but others that are still at Wesleyan, I want to thank and show my appreciation to. Coach Bowers, Coach Mills, Coach Elliott, Coach Stewart, they have all impacted my life more than they even know. And last but not least, Coach Macedo. Those who know me and of our relationship, it's more of a father-son relationship. So thanks again for the award, and be sure to show my mom all the love as she walks across that stage.
Michael J. White retired in June of this year after a distinguished 41-year career in global logistics and maritime shipping. From 2017 to 2022, he served as CEO for GTD Solution Incorporated and head of TradeLens, where he led the joint collaboration between A.P. Moller-Maersk and IBM to digitize global supply chains through the first blockchain-enabled open platform. Mike built his career at Maersk and P&O Ned Lloyd and D.B. Schnecker. He was the president of Maersk Line North America from 2009 to 2017 and served as chief executive officer for Maersk Line Central Europe from 2007 to 2009. Managing activities across 12 countries. He also served as president of Maersk Logistics North America while serving as chairman of Damco USA, Maersk Customs Services Incorporated, the Gilbert Company, and Bridge Terminal Transport. From 1990 to 2005, he held a number of senior management positions at P&O Ned Lloyd North America, Farrell Lines, and Port Newark Container Terminal. Mike graduated from Virginia Wesleyan in 1981 and studied at the Institute for Management Development in Switzerland and Harvard Business School, participating in the Harvard case study on TradeLens. He's been a licensed custom house broker since 1987, continues to serve as an advisor for TradeLens and other selected companies. He's also a dedicated member of the Virginia Wesleyan University Board of Trustees. Marlins and honored guests, please join me in recognizing Mike White from the class of 1981 as our exemplary graduate, trustee, supporter, and friend as our 2022 Distinguished Alumnus Award recipient.
Thank you, Dr. Miller, Chairman Pruden, fellow trustees, and the faculty of Virginia Wesleyan. It's an honor for me to be here today, and I am humbled by this recognition. I'd also like to thank my wife, Jeannie, my soulmate and life partner for over 30 years, and our two children, Michael and Leah. Without family, any personal or professional achievements would have been meaningless and, quite frankly, unattainable. 45 years ago, a 17-year-old boy from Long Island, New York, arrived at the Norfolk Trailways bus station with a single large duffel bag with his life possessions in them and made his way to the Virginia Wesleyan campus to embark on the initial stages of a journey of a lifetime. Little had I known the next 4 years would start me on a voyage of personal growth, opening my mind to a world of academic and social learning and establishing relationships with some truly remarkable people, many of whom remain lifelong friends today, friends I would not have met without Virginia Wesleyan. But it was more than the friendships and the coming of age that moving away to college affords students everywhere. It was that it was this Virginia Wesleyan, at the time a small liberal arts college, but one with a diversity of students, a strong academic program, and an institution which provided an opportunity to play intercollegiate athletics. It was also a school with a positive vibe, enhanced by a setting that I referred to at the time and still do as an environment of Southern hospitality. I vividly remember writing home to my parents the first week of college. This was well before email and cell phones, and I wrote a snail mail letter saying that this place was unbelievable, Mom and Dad. People say hi to you on the streets, they don't even know you. For a transplanted New York boy far from his roots, it was quite a welcome change. For all those wonderful traits, however, in the end it was the learning that also made Virginia Wesleyan special. Small classes with engaging professors enhanced the love of learning and left an indelible mark, and formed a foundation upon which I would continue to build in the years to come. Dr. Thompson brought micro and macroeconomics to life and helped me realize that my strong inclination towards mathematics and English could manifest itself in a completely new way with a business, or at that time, a LAMP major. Dr. Garrity taught my first course on international business, which opened my mind to a broader world of commerce and unknowingly set me on a course for a career in global trade. It was also Dr. Garrity who recommended me to consider a working internship, which was somewhat unique at the time. My senior year, which provided invaluable experience and ultimately contributed to my getting hired as a trainee for a large international logistics company just a few months later. Beyond the core management and business curriculum, the ability to take a cross-section of humanities and social science courses helped broaden a young student's perspective and prepare me for a future where I have been blessed to work with people of all cultures and nationalities. I'll always remember the ethics course from Dr. Holtgren for the content, but also for the subtle way he enabled students to come to understand some of life's biggest issues and left us thinking about and applying those thoughts long afterwards. Similarly, Drs. Lipscomb and Kessler brought psychology, sociology, and religious studies to life in a way which opened minds to many students, certainly me, to understand how people are different or might have different paradigms, and yet the common elements we all share. Nearly all of the professors and classes added value, and I could name many others. But the final one I'll mention was a course called Lateral Thinking. It was taught by Dr. Cass at the time, and whether dealing with complex business issues, at-home projects, or deciding what to do next in one's career, thinking laterally is an irreplaceable tool in the toolkit of life. In retrospect, the things I learned at Virginia Wesleyan contributed to my growth and development during those 4 years and in the 4.5 decades that followed. Life brings unexpected and complex challenges and opportunities, far more than a typical college student might envision during the 4 years of the bubble of the college experience. Universities today owe it to their students to not only guide their understanding of a broad-based curriculum across multiple disciplines, but most importantly, to prepare them for what lies ahead. I am forever grateful for the experience and learnings I received during my time at Virginia Wesleyan, and I'm proud to continue to be associated with this university as it expands its reach and impact on others. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to our Alumni Awards recipients once again, and thank you to our keynote speaker, the Honorable Deborah Paxson. I wish our faculty, staff, and students the best possible semester, one that's memorable and full of positive growth. It really is a great day to be a Marlin. If you would please stand for the singing of our alma mater and remain standing for the recessional. Thank you again for coming and those who are watching.
To be a Marlin, and may you take that Marlin spirit out into the world to change it for the better. May the blessing of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit rest upon you and live with you this day and always. Amen.